impressing others. But the focus of true hospitality is serving others. In the three sectors model, primary sector is the raw material, secondary sector is the manufacturing, and tertiary sector is the service sector. Services involve the transport, distribution, and sale of goods from producer to a consumer. When COVID-19 pandemic started and when lockdown was announced step by step, service sector was very much affected. India's services sector activity contracted in March, bearing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. New government has started announcing certain relaxations from the lockdown as unlock 1. Even then, service sector faced huge challenges to run to their earlier levels. Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors, but seas with ups and downs will make the sailor skillful. Our ability to handle life's challenges is a measure of our strength of character. Challenges are made to be met and overcome. They make us discover things about ourselves that we never really knew. Problems are not stop signs, they are guidelines. They are guidelines. Every problem has in it the seeds of its own solution. When we accept the challenges, we can feel the happiness of victory. Let every one of us hope that the service sector will also return back and flourish as before because they affect our life also. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Dear participants, let us listen to the lectures of the resource person and enrich ourselves in the areas of service sectors, the challenges faced by them, especially during the period of pandemic, and the strategies to overcome them. At this juncture, I congratulate the conveners for selecting a relevant and a recent topic for the webinar as impact of COVID-19 in service sector, strategies to overcome the challenges, and for their strenuous efforts in planning and conducting this webinar in a successful manner. Thank you. God bless you all. My dear participants, happily enjoy this hours.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sister. Thank you, sister. Felicitation by our secretary, Reverend Sister Dr. Queen Jayanti.
Good morning to you all. At the outset, I am very happy to welcome all the participants to this webinar. First of all, let me thank Principal of Auxilium College, Dr. Sister Regina Mary, Dr. Sister Alice, Secretary of Auxilium College, and a resource person, Dr. Freda Gnanaselvam, for accepting our invitation. Let me congratulate Dr. Mrs. Sugandhi Bai for taking effort to organize this seminar at the right time. So COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted all our lives, especially the service sector has been adversely affected by this COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has affected the society at three levels: at the consumer level, at the employees level, and at the employers level. So because of this pandemic, we are not able to go out. We are not able to get any services. We are not able to purchase anything. We are not able to go to the bank to get money. We are not able to go to the hospital for our medical treatments. We are not able to go out to visit the tourism places. So we are confined to the four walls of our house. At the employees level, they have the fear. They have lost their job security. Because of that, they are not able to get the salary. So many people have lost their job opportunity. So their family members are suffering from starving. At the employers level, they're not able to get money. They're not able to get profits. They're not able to give. They're not able to get money to give salary to their employees. So at this
COVID-19 has disrupted our lifestyle. So at this time, we have to think of how to overcome this pandemic with positive attitude. So far, we were the down IQ, limiting question, SQ, social
quotients, EQ, emotional quotients. This time, we should know about adversity.
quotient. So how we have to face our adversities in our life. We have to cope up with these adversities with positive attitude. Everything will be positive. But we should have positive mind and positive
Attitude to cope with this pandemic.
COVID-19 pandemic. I hope our resource person, Dr. Redha Namasilvam, will enlighten you on this topic very lucidly. I hope all the participants will be benefited and they will be
The pandemic stress. So we are under so many stress. So this seminar will help us to get relief from all these type of stress. Wish you all the best. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Now I hand over the session to today's speaker, Dr. Frida Nanaselvi.
Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes,
Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. It gives me great joy to be a part of this webinar, which is organized by Jairaj Annabakyam College for Women, Autonomous, Periyakulam, and Auxilium College, Autonomous, Vellore. I thank the colleges for inviting me as a resource person for the webinar. I also thank Dr. Beulah Suresh, Head Department of Business Administration, and her team for having given me an opportunity to join the webinar as a resource person. Let me start with a thought for the day. Don't wait for opportunity, create it. I'm really happy to give my thoughts on this COVID-19, which has brought a pandemic pull on the service sector. Although the focus on my topic is going to be on the logistics, the transport, and the retail, it is going to give a thought about the entire service sector. Can you just please share the screen? The outbreak of COVID-19 has really created a crisis throughout the globe. The term crisis means disaster. COVID has created a disaster throughout the globe for all the nation. It has brought shockwaves to our countries. COVID-19 has paralyzed the functioning of our business. It has stopped every activity of the service sector and the functioning of the human. Within a month, unemployment rose to 6.7 on 15th March and 26% on 19th April. 45% of the household across the nation have reported income drop. Indian economy was expected to lose over 32,000 crores every day in the first lockout. Then imagine at what state are we in today? If it has rocked the world, every country is in a pandemic situation. They are not knowing what to do, but they are finding ways and means to work beyond. In India, the service sector activity has contracted during March 2020. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on India's service economy has not been fully realized yet, but our economists view that the worst is yet to come due to the complete closure of the lockdown. Today, we have opened the doors. One step, we have come out, and we are sure that we will see a change in the near future. Pressure lies on the government to combat the economic challenges the lockdown has caused. Lockdown has curtailed the discretionary spending of the people. Service sector are people-intensified industry. I'm sure that without people, we cannot run a service industry. Business providing services of everything from technology to travel and trade were the first to hit. India's key service industries have come to a standstill during the outbreak. Now, how are we going to cope up with this standstill? Helping the citizen and the business cope up with the pandemic pull is the first responsibility of our government. About 122 million people were out of job in April alone, according to the estimates by the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy Private. The government has unveiled a support package to help cushion the blow, including access to credit for small businesses and small loans to workers and farmers. Therefore, the GDP is slightly to grow slowly. Now, is the government able to help the business revive? We really look for the government's help, but to what extent we will be able to get the help? To what extent our government can help this service sector? The industries are looking at the government for help. They really need help because with the lockout for such a long period is not an easy task. How can industries promote the adaptive response to foster positive attitude and adhere to the new measure? Today we are going to come out for the new change. We are looking ahead of the new informations, new process and new programs in order to revive ourselves. How government impact the dynamics in this business domain? It is they who have given us the loan, but it is only for the small farmers or the small retailers. It is not for the giant institutions. In this webinar, I'm going to focus on COVID-19 pandemic pull on service sector with reference to logistics, transport, and the retail sector. Logistics. 50% of India's trucking is stranded without the drivers because you see, it is a people-intensive institution and we need people to come. But since the virus is so difficult, we are not able to bring the people out for work. Logistic involves things like transportation, inventory, packaging, supplies, and sometimes social security and warehousing. At every stage and at every operation, the hands of the human is important. We find that nearly 10 to 15% we have dropped down in this particular year. And we find since 2019 and 20, we have nearly come to the end of the financial year. I'm sure at this beginning of this next financial year, we are going to see the difficulties. Now, the first quarter of the year is immediately seeing a 40 to 60% fall as the lockdown has extended to a large period. The situation seems dull for about a year since the companies need to cope with the great loss it has incurred this year. It is said that only for logistics, see, when you say logistics, it speaks about so many things, the international trade and also the domestic ones. We find that the loss is too heavy for us to manage. The fall in lockdown is 40 to 60%, and the loss is estimated as 50,000 crore. Despite the logistics being categorized as essential services, there is an expectation for decline in volume in the first mile and in the last mile, which will be a great challenge for the industry. Not only the goods that we receive at the airport or at the harbor, but from the harbor, it has to move to the warehouses, to the set institutions and industries, from where it has to still further move towards the consumers. Severe shortage of labor and drivers, along with health safety equipments, checks at ports for foreign vessels may lead to congestion at the ports and depots, which may impact their efficiencies. So care has to be taken by providing these human people with the personal protective requirement. Unless they have the provisions being given, they will not be able to carry out their activities in the set manner. Taking care of our employees are of prime importance because we are people-intensified industry. Safety for our employees are to be taken care of. This disease expects us to maintain social distance. We have to keep ourselves clean, especially our hands, and wear a mask, where we will not be able to transmit the disease to others or get the disease from others. So these safety devices are to be provided to our people. Unless we, the companies, are willing to supply the requirement, we will not be able to safeguard our human resource. Extending support to our employees who work from home is also important. Today, only 30% of the people are asked to come and work in the institutions. The others are expected to work from home. And this requires provision, such as facilities like providing them with laptops, headphones, and internet facilities, etc. Unless we extend this support to our employees, we will not be able to carry work from home. It's now time to move forward. Taking a wise and best decision is the need of the hour. So who are supposed to take this decision? The smart leaders will seize this opportunity to take a swift action to position their business for a greater productivity. So now there is a reaction that is going on. We have to move on to action. We have started today. So maybe we'll see a change in the near future. There are three major considerations that the freight and logistic providers must keep in mind as they move forward. The first one is the e-commerce. The e-commerce is rising. We are forced to move towards the technology and find ways to get what we want from where we are. So adopting and making use of this e-commerce is become the need of the hour. Customer supply chains will change. The lockdown has sent shock waves through supply chain professionals. Therefore, rethinking, sourcing, and logistic networks in order to reduce future risk has gained importance. How are we going to rethink about the sourcing and the logistic networks? We have to design. It has become more important, and therefore, we as creative people, as management people, bring out strategies to reach out and reach the consumers. All indicators point to a major reduction in economic activity, one of the worst since the World War II. See, from World War II, we have rise to such an extent, but again, there is a deep fall. We have gone down. Our economy has gone down. Our situations are very bad. Here we find that we need to modernize and equip our unit towards the technology. Therefore, use of robotic and drone technology becomes essential. We are expected to cut down the transportation cost. How to bring it to a minimum? It is very difficult, but strategies have to be brought out in order to minimize the transportation. Inventory, visibility, tracking, and management are also important. And for all this, we require the technology, the use of computer technology. Logistic services are said to be a derived demand. Unless there is a need, we cannot supply. So the demand has to be created and it has to be provided. From the movement of physical goods, there will be likely to be a significant negative impact on the sector long beyond the current health crisis. The pandemic pull on transportation. How are we going to deal with this transportation? It is not a small unit. It is a large thing. Transportation sector has been one of the primary victims of COVID-19. We have here focusing our attention on all the means of transportation, the road, the rail, the air, and the waterways. All modes of transportation are taken into consideration. From auto to airlines, all are affected economically by the pandemic. There is a need for truck drivers.
Hello? 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 Hello, madam? Hello, madam? Hello? என்னாச்சு? ஐயையோ. Hello? ஆ? அவங்களுக்கு சொல்லிடவா? என்னாச்சுப்பா? ஹலோ மேடம். ஐயோ, அவங்களோட இது இதாகுதா? ஹலோ பியூலா, பியூலா. Hello participants. Due to power cut in the resource person place, there is some interruption. Therefore, just wait for 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you.
ಏನ್ ಅಲ್ಲದು now okay, can you hear?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you. Sorry for the interruption. As the transportation sector employs millions of people, in the long run, it is necessary to understand the pandemic impact on consumer preference and the subsequent transportation demand for the passengers and goods. Indian Railways have simultaneously cancelled passenger trains and ramped up parcel services and other freight services for essential commodities. We see these are domestic only, which I have taken here. The loss incurred due to railway, road, and air transport. The strategies to overcome the challenges in transport sector is expected to be to revisit our business plans. Why should we revisit our business plan? The plan that we have organized last time may not be suitable for the present one. The financial year 2019-20 ends with March 2020. Therefore, it becomes essential to look for the business plan and rework for the current year. The profit can be invested back into the current year's needs. Since the cost will increase, customers must be willing to spend more to meet the need. The passenger vehicle will cost more because the number of people who are going to travel in a bus is going to be less, and the cost is going to be more. If consumers are conscious about safety, they will maintain distance and use masks and gloves. Central government should provide assistance to revive the unit. Strategic technologies for logistics and transport move towards digital trend is also expected. We find the various types of drones, robotics, cloud integration, autonomous tracking, All these are things that we have to be aware of, introducing it in our present. Now, who will be able to make use of all these types of um, strategies? Because it will be the top executives and people with who are really in business. The pandemic pull on retail sector. Retailers selling both essential and non-essential items have reported a 40% to 100% drop, respectively, in their sales due to this COVID-19 pandemic. CEO of Retailers Association of India states that business such as apparel, jewelry, shoes, consumer electronics, durables, and IT have reduced to 100%. What a sad story. It is very, very sad to note that the retail sector has been hit very badly. Complete lockdown has brought down the revenue for retailers. The threat of the disease was the main cause for such a pandemic effort, because people said we are not able to go out. Any contact will bring the disease. Therefore, people had to stay aloof, stay away, and it has made a real threat. Even the non-grocery and food retailers are reporting 80% to 100% reduction in sales. Really, the farmers are also finding it difficult to sell what they have produced. 90% of the employees are monthly earners whose wages are only for their need. They can satisfy only their basic needs because they are wage earners. 5 lakh stores are in the country. 15 million retailers are there, and 46 million people are employed in this sector. But if we are going to see their effect, the impact created on these workers is very much alarming. The industry is experiencing severe liquidity challenges, which can lead to large-scale unemployment. Yesterday, in the Hindu newspaper brought out the interview with the CEO of the retail sector. He says that only 10% of non-food retailers have money to pay the salaries. Unless they have daily income, they will not be able to pay the workers. This particular information has really helped us to think about the 90% left behind. So it is time. And he says that government is not willing to help them. The banking sector is not willing to help them. And if so, what is going to be the situation? I'm sure that it will fall on the consumers. The future, we find that the products may increase, which will bring inflation again. More than 95% of non-food retailers and the shops are closed in lockdown are looking at practically no revenues at all. In most retail business, we find that the revenue is further invested into the business. Therefore, retailers don't accumulate wealth. They just keep rotating in their business. In the next 6 months, the non-food retailers expect to earn 40%. But in this 40%, they have to combat the loss that they have incurred in the earlier past. Most of the food retailers also sell non-essential goods in the same or different stores. The non-food business in the stores has come to a standstill in the lockdown, leading to revenue loss. Additionally, 25% of these retailers have non-food stores that have been closed, leading to further losses. In the next 6 months, food retailers expect to earn 56% as compared to last year's revenue. 70% of the retailers expect the business recovery to happen in more than 6 months, but 20% expect it to take more than 1 year. So nearly this year and the next will be a hard time for the retailers to come up. Small retailers are expecting a layoff of 30% of their manpower because retailers are not able to pay the salaries for the workers. Hence, reduction in manpower is likely to occur, and the crowd that is going to come to retail outlets are not going to be the same as what we see today. On the whole, the retailers who responded to the survey expected a layoff of about 20% of their manpower. What are the strategies that these retailers can take? The survival plan. Leaders are looking out for strategic plans that will help them survive in business. What is most important is to be taken care first. Therefore, prioritizing the requirement is essential. Depending upon the nature of their business, a large firm, a medium firm, and a small firm, they have to revive. They have to find out new plans just for survival. It is not for profit. It is just to keep them going. So to be in the market, they require a survival plan, just ready to make them alive. Only a mall and departmental stores, we need to maintain social distancing. Consumers should not be selfish in spending more time at the stores. They have to pick what they want and give room for the next to enter the stores. Every individual is expected to live with a conscious mind that people are waiting next. None of us, even the economists, are able to predict the situation of the future. But this COVID-19 pandemic will be affecting every sector one way or the other, at beginning or at the end. Only time can say what will happen to our business because the effect is slowly moving. It will be seen in all our activities. We have crossed many disasters and marched thus far, so we will surely move forward and have a good business in the near future. With this sign of hope, we wish to hope to see a best and a good business moving around. We see a silver lining in the dark cloud and the days are not far. It may take 3 months for a retailer who is really or a business person who is really in the high level, but for a small business person it will take nearly 1.5 years for them to recover. The risk around the path of recovery depends upon the 3 factors. The slanting curve should be seen to help us overcome the crisis. If the curve is to rise, then our situation will be in dark. If the curve is going to slant, I'm sure we are going to move forward quickly. Workers should be able to move freely. Only then there can be spending pattern observed in the market. With no job, there will be no buying. The situation will still be dark. And finally, if the business is able to function, then money will be available for spending, which will improve the balance sheet of the companies. Therefore, let us push harder than yesterday if we want a better and a different tomorrow. I'm sure if these 3 factors we could see a change, we will be able to revive the business environment too. Don't let the unpredictable dangers blind you from the unprecedented opportunities. I am sure this crisis has helped us to look forward to the new opportunities. As Winston Churchill has said, never let a good crisis go in waste. Let us not look at this crisis as a disaster and look dismayed. Let us not sit where we are, but rise up. Be sure that this crisis will help us to see new opportunities. Sitting down will not help us to look for new ideas. We will be able to see new opportunities, to work in a new direction. Surely we will see a new dawn. I'm sure that we will be able, and this particularly the service sector will find a new change in the new beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your elaborative explanation with pictorial representation about the impact of COVID-19 in
Yes.
logistics, transportation, and retail sector. It covered the challenges and strategies that can be used by everyone from customer
Yes.
at low level and executive employees of all the businesses. Thank you,
Yes.
madam.
Thank you.
Now participants can raise your questions. Madam?
Yes.
Okay. Some questions in the chat box.
Yes. Yes.
What about international transport and logistics issue?
Oh, international is a very large topic. That means we are going to, it will take really 6 months, I think, for the international logistics to revive, because it involves great effort by the part of the government, isn't it? Both the governments. It's not only our government, but also the other nation. Unless they are willing to send in their materials, we will not be able to transport our materials too.
Next question, madam.
Yes.
What do you think about this unlock? It is safe for the current situation and allowing transportation from place to another place.
After looking into the situation only, the government has provided, isn't it, the unlock. So I'm sure that it is time that we we abide by the rules of safety, and then we will be able to see a new dawn. It's good. How long can we be inside? We have to move out.
Another question in the chat box. What will be the business opportunities for global logistics companies?
That's a difficult question to answer, but it is not, I cannot say it's going to be zero. Definitely it will rise within, because without our consignment reaching the other destination, we cannot get in other countries' product inside our country. So definitely there is a time lag. Only thing, time will heal. I'm sure within the next 6 months, we will be able to see great changes in the international trade also.
Okay, one more question. Cities like Chennai is under lockdown.
Yes.
Where in the businesses more? What about the people involved in business in such cities?
They have to wait for the time. They have to wait for their time. That's all we can say. Because if they are going to unlock themselves, difficulty is going to come, and it is going to spoil the entire society. So unless the government gives us the green signal, we cannot move. It is painful indeed, but time will heal it. Chennai should really wait for some more time, because it is a city and densely populated.
Participants, if you want to raise your question, please raise your hands.
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Hello. 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 Hello, ma'am.
Hello?
Okay. Okay. Chat box. Okay. Okay. Okay.
What next? What are the positive impact of COVID-19?
Chat box. Positive impact.
Yes, yes.
It's a new thinking that we cannot work with the old. We have to move forward with the new. Where is the chat box?
Finally,
Hello.
hello?
Yes.
One more question, only one question now.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
effectively the retailers can sell the product after this COVID-19?
With the following the rules given by the government of social distancing, using a mask, the gloves. Only by following the rules. If we cannot follow the rules, we will not be able to safeguard the society. We are at risk. All should be aware of the seriousness of the disease and we have to work. We will be successful for sure. Any more questions?
When will be the right time to start business when this crisis gets over?
Today is the day. Government has opened us, unlocked. It starts from today. It's really a new beginning. Isn't it? Today is going to be the new day.
Okay, madam. Thank you very much, madam. Finally, we move on to the vote of thanks by Dr. Francis Mercy, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Jayaraj Annapakkam College, Periyakkulam. Mercy, madam, unmute your mic. Mercy.
Okay, madam. Okay, miss. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Psalm 106, verse 1. A very good afternoon, everybody. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks on the first day of two-day national webinar on COVID-19 in service sector, strategies to overcome the challenges. First and foremost, let me start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's webinar a resounding success. We are grateful to our principal, Reverend Sister Dr. S. Jesurani, our Secretary and Mother Superior, Reverend Sister Dr. B.J. Queensley Jayanti, the pillars of administration, for their encouragement, able guidance, and continuous support in all our endeavors. Thank you, sisters. We wholeheartedly thank the Secretary, Reverend Sister Alice, and Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Regina Mary of Auxilium College, Vellore, for having consented to do the collaborative task. Thank you, sisters. I appreciate and thank the resource person of today's webinar, Dr. Frida Gnanaselvam, Principal, MMES Women's Arts and Science College, Melusharam, Vellore, who has graciously consented to accept our invitation and enlightened on COVID-19 pandemic pull on logistics, transport, and retail sectors. Ma'am, your lecture was resourceful and thought-provoking. On behalf of management, principal, the coordinators, and PG and Research Department of Commerce, JSC, and Business Administration of Department of Auxilium College, Vellore, on behalf of all the participants and my own behalf, I extend my sincere thanks to you, ma'am. I profusely thank the coordinators who have undertaken strenuous efforts. Dr. J. Mary Shugantibai, Head and Associate Professor of Commerce, JSC. Dr. Beulah Suresh, Head and Assistant Professor of Department of BBA, Auxilium College. And the organizers, Mrs. M. Akina Perveen, Assistant Professor of Commerce, JSC. Mrs. Preeti Prabhakaran, Assistant Professor of Auxilium College, Vellore, for the successful conduct of this webinar during this difficult time. Thank you, ma'am. I immensely thank Dr. Joshita, the Head of Computer Science Department, JSC, and her team who stood behind us by providing all technical assistance for the successful conduct of today's webinar. Thank you, sister. I happily thank all our participants for their enthusiastic participation and active participation. Thank you, friends. Finally, I leave you this inspiring quote by Brad Henry. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite imagination, and instill a love of learning. Once again, I thank each and every one of you.
Tomorrow the session will start at 11:15 a.m. Thank you, participants. Thank you.
Super.
ஏதோ நீங்க பண்ணுங்கப்பா அது
இல்லம்மா இது பின்னு மாட்டு எப்படி டெஸ்ட் பண்ணி பின் மாட்டு டெஸ்ட் பண்ணி முடிச்சிட்டாங்களா சரி பேசுறது
இப்ப எங்கேயோ கேக்குதாப்பா லிட்டில் பேசுறது கேக்குது மேடம் யாரும் பேசுறது
ஐயோ நீங்க என்ன பேசுறீங்க
நல்ல வேளை நான் வேற எதுவும் பேசல
என்ன பேசுறீங்க
நீங்க ஏதோ வந்து பிரஸ் பண்ணீங்க